What sayest thou, Master Matoya? We may accept this fate, or defy it, but we cannot deny it.
Deny? I am not wont to run from my troubles. Until our friend returns, I will hold the line.
This town certainly has changed, and not at all for the better. I'm not going anywhere. I promise you, Minfilia. This tragedy, greater even than the seventh umbral calamity, must be undone. If history must be unwritten, let it be unwritten. Become what you must. Become the warrior of darkness.
And we're here. Somehow.
Magically.
Yeah. Axe. So welcome to session 18. Yep. There's 18 on the screen. We're to session 18 of A Song of Crystal and Shadow. First sponsor for tonight is Canadian Dice. I'm gonna do the thing because I'm pretty sure everyone else is sleeping or something, or playing other games. Go to CanadianDice.ca, use the code LEVACTOR, all one word. Check out 15% off your order. This week is Maggie's pick, his Demon Dice. Demon Eye Dice. Maggie's not here to talk about it, so I'll try and talk about it. The way Maggie told me about it yesterday when we were playing Pumpkin Spice for a basic witch. Demon Eyes are scary. Put them in dice. You have scary Demon Eye dice, and who doesn't want those? I think that's how Maggie described it, and even if not, that's how I'm sticking to it. Second announcement. Let me put this one in. And our merch store is at tinyr.com/vacmerch. You can get excellent designs like the Vac Blob and Half Orc Energy, and there are two current October only designs by Affy that are probably helping us raise money for Extra Life. Speaking of, hey, it's Spooktober and we're about halfway through, nearly 2/3 of the way through. We're raising money for Extra Life for kids for our various hospitals in our area. Mine is Sparrow Hospital up in Lansing, here in Michigan. Last year was a crazy month-long fundraiser, ending with a 12-hour organized chaos drop-in, drop-out stream run by Affy herself. We raised about $1,300 last year. We're trying to beat that target. And if you want to donate, the link is in the chat for those of you watching the stream. But for those of you on the podcast, you can find this link at tinyurl.com/Vactor Extra Life 2023. Okay, schedule for the week ahead. Tomorrow at 8:30, it's Fixius 5 with Artemis running that. No Together Among the Stars on Saturday. Dungeon Daddy Rick is traveling, but Saturday evening is Vatpacker's Guide to TTRPGs because they had tech issues last week. That's at 7 p.m. And also, kind of shameless plug, over on Hammer of the Gods, we're running a new vampire game, Moonlight by Detroit, or Detroit by Moonlight. Rick, where are you? To help me put that in. But I am part of that, so that's at 6 p.m. over on Hammer of the Gods. Sunday afternoon, the Forge of Eons with DM Emily for this is an Extra Life game, and that is using the Critical Role Candela Obscura system at 1 p.m. EST. In the evening on Sunday, Aphemis are over on Jeremy's channel for Legacy of Fire at 7:30 EST. Monday, we're back here for Mistwalkers at 8:30 EST. Tuesday, it's Table 9, a game called 10 Candles. It's at 8:30 EST and it's being run by our sponsor, Ryan from Canadian Dice. And then Wednesday, I believe, two things. We have Brindlewood Bay with Storyteller Tavern from Instagram at 8:30 p.m. EST. But I also think we have Mutant Core Classics over on Goodman Games at 9 p.m. EST. Don't quote me on the time. I am memorizing these slowly but surely. And yeah, that's all the times. As far as Extra Life stuff goes, if you donate to us, I'm currently in last place, even behind Maggie for some unknown reason. I don't know how, but whatever. If you donate to us during this stream, at least $5-10, I might let you create an item either to be used with these Chaos Bees or against them. Either way. Yes, I do take... I am trying to bribe people. Why are you swearing at me, Pure? Anyway, I'm going... And the last part I have to say, as always, you can find our podcasts wherever you download your podcasts from. And there, I've done my 2-second thing. Okay, so let's do a quick recap. Nightbot is still being weird. It's saying it's still saying we're doing pumpkin spice for basic witches. I mean, fair enough. We've got our storyteller from last night, what Queen Mother GM watching the chat, but we're not playing that tonight. As much as I'm sure all of us would love a session 2 for that, because there are some unresolved things to deal with. So, our party, Sans, Akemi, and Rayon woke up in Lakeland outside the Quistarium. They met a merchant who kind of explained a little bit about what was going on. And then they went up to the Quistarium gate and found that a Sin Eater had eaten the merchant as the Sin Eater tried to attack them. But thankfully, the captain of the guard saved their sorry asses. Okay. They got brought into the Crystarium by the mysterious Crystal Exarch, who explained a whole bunch of things, and I'm pretty sure Lily threatened him at least once. Yeah. Lily,
at least.
Yuli, just as a heads up, you're echoey, huh? It might be the hoodie.
I am back.
Hi, back.
Welcome back. I didn't actually say anything yet.
Okay, I thought I heard Echo. You trying to say something? Yes. The Crystal Exarch was threatened at least once. At least. After that, the group went to go and find information. And that's where chaos started happening as both Lily and Yuku got drunk. Lily started trying to shag the master of the markets, was like nuzzling against his legs and all the rest of it and trying to mate with him in Mikote style. I was trying not to make the stream go triple X, but I think I succeeded. And Yuku turned into a Moogle balloon. That's right. The Moogles basically made Yuku levitate and float around the market for a while until they all went to sleep. To then be told the next day where their comrades had gone to and who with. Someone called Alize, who I'm pretty sure the only person who would have canon knowledge of who that is, strangely enough, Lily, because Scions. So, it's the next day. You've gone up, if I remember correctly, you went up to the Amaro launch. What's fixed, Agni? Oh, the bot. Thank you. Oh no, Agni's watching. That's not good. Agni's here. That means chaos. Agni's going to do bad things. To you lot, at least. Or possibly to me. Both. Or donate.
Don't give him ideas.
Don't say anything that'll give Agni ideas. He'll also donate single cents to throw off the extra life balance.
Well, we know he had sense. He's giving it away.
So all of you went up to the Amaro launch and you found out that chocobos aren't really a thing in this world, but there are these wonderful fae birds called Amaro who are actually pretty damn smart, who are used in place of chocobos. And when you are ready, they would take you out to the desert land of Amarang to go find Akemi, Crayon, Fang, of course, and Alize. So we are currently in the Crystarium, the home of Crystal Exarch, the Crystal Tower, and all that fun stuff. And you all are preparing for departure. So I will let you talk things out, especially because the Norvrandt version of Horsebirds are involved, and Akemi may have something to. No, Akemi has no choice. Akemi's in Amarang. Whatever.
This is gonna be fun.
So the four of you who are still in the Crystarium.
I mean, Lily's pretty much just dead set on going, so she'd head straight for the people.
Mm-hmm.
After the previous altercation and the fact that I'm pretty sure she's still in a bad mood.
And Jax is trying to keep up with her to make sure she doesn't pick any fights.
And Yuku's along for the ride because, as per usual, she is on Jackson's shoulders.
Well, we know what Chicago's doing.
Drinking.
That's a good question. I need your session D drunk roll, please.
I don't know why it rolled twice.
Autopilot?
Because you just wanted to be super drunk.
Give me a second. Well, apparently I am super drunk.
In fact, I am going to say that combined with the antics of the night before, you are in drunken master mode right now. I'm going to say that you did not sleep off enough of the alcohol, and the rest of you, as usual, when this happens, Shikao looks sober.
Every person who's ever been in an army is wondering, like, how the hell does she do that? I wish I could do that.
Almost every person.
This fortune cookies bullshit.
think so.
So, make sure everyone's logged into Foundry because I've actually done my homework and set all this up. Load and activate.
Nice.
Turn that music down a bit.
Oh, that is cool.
Okay, so the Amaro flies over Lakeland, which of course is very lush, purple grass, purple trees. It's being led by one of the traders that works out of Amarang. Out of a set, he says his name's Cassard, and he is what you would consider a Rogadin. They call Geldsent or something like that. I will have to double check the actual way that is said. I know the word in my head, but my brain is not functioning. He explains on the flight over that in the meantime, Kemi and Crayon and Fang and Alize have been basically working as mercenaries in a settlement called the Inn at Journey's Head, looking after folks who've been infected by Sin Eaters but not outright converted. He doesn't explain how they're converted or anything, and says that's probably left to the carers to explain. But he leads you through the air as kind of purple foliage and everything like that turns to desert sands and ruins, red bricked ruins of the Nabath Empire. And you land in one of them to the northeast.
Just like with every new area that they've gone to previously, and Lily would be taking notes.
And also I'm going to check to make sure that no one spent any points on making us do anything, because that does not show up in Dreamlabs. No one spent any points on making us drink. Okay. So, Cassard nods to you. We're going to head over the southwest, the main settlement of the area called Mordsuk, home of the Mord traders. That's where you'll find Akemi, Crayon, and Alize. Maybe Alize. Alize does a lot more wandering than the other two. And yeah. And I will then hand it over to you lot to tell me what you're doing for the time being. Obviously, apart from Akemi, who is somewhere else on the map.
While they're flying, can I do a perception check for points of interest or anything that might be worth investigating at a later date?
Yep. With a 21.
Uh-huh.
As you pass over Lakeland, kind of the edge, you would notice there's another kind of fortressy. There's like a castle-looking area that looks deserted, and then there's an outpost that's staffed by members of the Quisterium Guard with a huge rocky, stone tower in the northeast corner of it. As you cross over into Amarang, you notice that far to the south, it's actually really easy to see for all of you, but for those of you who are more etherically inclined, you see this huge white, beige, yellowy, crystalline tidal wave sitting behind a set of red brick ruins. And you strongly suspect that this is what the exarch meant by the flood of light. The literal flood of light.
She would definitely make detailed notes of both. Upon landing, I think she would take a few extra seconds to just kind of jot down coordinates and locations so they can go and look at them after everybody's reconvened.
Yuku's a little intimidated by that wall of light.
It is awe-inspiring, isn't it?
That's one term for it.
Jakal doesn't even notice.
Even with a +1, I think, from being in Drunken Master mode.
Rolled a 2.
Well, a
Can't do
2,
much
and
more.
then had like 5 points in bonuses for a grand total of 7. Jakyle is more concerned with holding on to the bloody Amaro than taking locations and such. And Yuku is definitely more concerned with trying not to fall off the damn Fey bird than looking for the ruins and such. With a nat 1!
All they see is bird.
Yep.
All she sees is Amaro feathers. And is trying not to fall off.
Jackson probably sees...
Jackson's half distracted by keeping Yuku on the bird.
Yeah, I'd say that's part. I'd say that's part of that, but also I would say it at least has could see the basic outlines of the structures and stuff, but not, for example, that they are empty or manned or what have you.
Okay.
So you all land, and a familiar figure comes trotting up to you, and bang, kind of barks a couple of times, especially as she sees Lily. Kind of spins around a couple times.
Lily's gonna, of course, walk over and give her pats.
All I'm imagining is a Kemi hiding in a corner from the giant birds.
But they're not chocobos.
They're not.
It's like
So,
I just see like a Kemi just like hiding in a corner, like, oh crap, they're evolving.
It wasn't mine.
That's it.
It's not mine.
Is it?
so Bang kind of rears up on her hind legs for a second, puts her paws on Lily's shoulders, and then turns around and starts to bolt out of the ruins towards the bridge to the southwest. When she sees that you are not immediately following her, she turns, barks a couple more times, and then continues to make her way towards the bridge.
Well, Jackson's gonna go ahead and follow.
And Cassard
So
says,
is Yuku.
Cassard says as much. Cassard's like, you probably want to follow Fang there. She'll lead you to your friends at Mordsuk. I'll be along shortly with my wares.
Thank you! And, Yuku just bolts after Fang.
I told her hang on to it. That's drinking.
Then
Go on.
Until she's scooped up by Jackson and put on his shoulders. You are not running off.
Lily's not running per se, but she's casually walking while taking or doing her little sketches and notes as she's catching up to Fang.
Okay. You can all move your characters on the map because we're in roleplay mode. I'm not worried about anything else. I'm not doing random encounters this time.
How do I do that? Every time I click, it just
Should be able to just outright move. Just click and drag.
yeah.
There's no grid.
Yeah, it just has a little ping thing.
Mine still says game paused.
Ain't that right?
That might be why. Now try.
Oh yeah.
I forgot to press the magic space bar to unpause the game. And as you can see, I mean, I can declick, but there are the areas that are darkened on the map for you are rock formations, regular rock formations, not the flood of light. They are tall ass mountains that clearly are dividing this desert land from other places, from more places, and there are a couple of rocks to your southeast that are just tall and in the way and blocking line of sight to whatever's behind them. So, yeah. But as Fang keeps bolting
Jesus.
across the desert sands, you reach a desert town and outpost surrounded by walls, of sandstone, with a guard tower in the back, and tons of market stalls set up. It's a bustling hub of commerce, and bartering for some of the local delicacies. You see Akemi by the northeast steps into the settlement.
I move the map so I can actually zoom in on certain spots.
Yuku waves.
Jackson goes straight over to Akemi.
Yeah, so would Lily. Two puppies.
Because both of us were trying to control Fang at the same time.
They're multiplying.
Yeah, in the weird time dilation, apparently Fang has hooked up with some native.
Great.
Norvrandt.
This is how we get.
Go on.
This is how Fang eventually evolves into Cerberus.
Fuck. Don't give Akemi ideas. Fuck.
Fuck Akemi, give me ideas.
So, I know for a fact, Lily seeing Akemi would perk up, ears kind of do the spring thing that Makote ears do. And she would actually pick up her pace and trot over. And then probably smack the armor on his chest really hard.
So, Akemi up to this point has been so engrossed in bartering for food things that didn't even acknowledge anybody but Fang coming up to them. Until Lily smacks them in the chest. Huh? What? Oh, hey guys!
Yuku's just like, hi!
You left us behind.
Not like I had a choice.
What is wrong with you?
She's slightly upset, but at the same time just overly relieved to see them unharmed and okay.
Keep in mind that for some unknown reason, Akemi and Crayon came through before all of you, and yeah. Which only really Akemi and Crayon would know about. The Exarch explained it, but didn't explain it in depth because the Exarch's like that.
Yeah.
So do we know the reason why or not?
You strongly suspect it has something to do with your void energy, or the fact that you use void magic. Both you and Crayon harnessed that, so your travel through the void was more efficient. As for the reason the Scions came through at the same time as you, timey-wimey bullshit.
It's because they're scions.
Yes. It also meant that I had GM privilege, and I could be like, okay, this one's going here, and this one's going here, and that way they could all be set up in their different towns and stuff, ready for when you lot as you get there. So I don't have to worry about that later.
That's fair.
But yeah, so it's not quite true that the others left. The two of them, the two void users, left the remaining 4 behind, but it definitely feels that way. I completely understand why you would feel that way, and I'm sure Lily has her reasons for feeling that way too.
But no, Akemi just kind of smiles at her anger, pats her between the ears, and goes, "I missed you too."
She just kind of shoot him a look underneath that mask of hers that I'm sure he could feel.
And then, kind of, you feel another void presence flanking you as the Viera that is Crayon is on your other side, or behind you rather.
She glanced back, but they're not her concern.
Oh dear. How about the rest of you? You see Yuli and Akemi reuniting with, and there's Crayon as well. Fang is looping around a lot of them, barking.
Akemi's actually going to glance at Jackson and just kind of, "You survive without me."
Yes. But
Don't say
we
a word.
definitely need you as the speaker for the group.
What I miss.
Yuku looks over at Lily with just a look of where to start.
Seeing the pointed look at Lily, he just shake his head and sigh. What did you do?
She looks at them too. 1, they don't need to know everything. And 2, I may have threatened the Crystal Exarch that if anything happened to you guys, I would hold them personally responsible.
You also threatened the captain of the guards.
They got in the way.
Kemi, I would like you to give me an insight check.
Okay.
I'm
With
gonna
or
roll...
without advantage?
Without advantage. I'm gonna roll for Crayon. Okay. Okay, both of them got 13s. Lily, I need you to make me a deception check, please, to counter this.
Why always deception? I suck with deception.
That sounds like a personal problem.
Every time you make a deception, it's always bad.
Watch it be a nat 20.
Yeah. No! It was. What
did I tell you?
Akemi and Crayon. I mean, technically Crayon. Unfortunately, ink is sick. But Akemi, you would definitely know that Lily is holding something back. The other stuff is truthful. To be fair, the other stuff that she's told you so far is truthful, but it's something she's not telling you.
Akemi just kind of puts their hand on their hip and gives the dad look.
You can give me the face all you want. I'm not telling you. And if they're smart, they're not telling you either.
Well, if they want good food, they'll tell me.
So you're gonna blackmail them?
Bribery.
I mean,
Definitely bribery.
I'm not sure what all to share. Just Besides the fact that I somehow got really, really drunk, and so did she.
And there it is.
Ears
Yeah.
in anger.
She got drunk and I missed it.
It's Shikaya's fault.
Somehow I doubt that.
I don't remember what happened.
That I believe.
I was playing Wrangler for a while.
I also believe that.
They don't need details.
Jackson and Shikaya would remember all the details of what both the drunkards did.
You know, we should just carry on with our mission.
Not yet.
Oh no, I think I'm going to tell Akemi a bit of what you did. Such as clinging to me.
There is now a new list pointed at Jackson.
Akemi doesn't even bat an eyelash and kind of just shoves a hand in front of the Nulith.
Yuku, you would also remember that while you were floating, and you start to maybe recall something about floating on the head, on the arms of Moogles, you saw Lily also grabbing at someone else in the Crystarium.
Who are you clinging to besides Jackson?
She lets out a frustrated roar, stomps, and just heads off into the market.
As you do that, you see Cassard talking with what looks to you to be a kobold. At least on the source, they would be a kobold.
She'd pull her notebook out and take a quick sketch as she walks over and asks what they're doing.
We're doing what every good trader does with the Mord. Engaging in commerce.
Mord.
Yes. I am a Mord. In fact, I am the proprietor of this establishment. I'm just remembering which one in particular. I am Gengen, and I am the leader of Mordsuk, the head trader. I welcome you all to our humble establishment here in the eastern part of Amarang.
She points back at the party. I'm kind of with them.
Kind of.
She's kind of mad at them right now. So yes, kind of.
And all Yuku did was try to figure out what she was remembering.
She embarrassed her is what she did.
And Cassard looks at you and says, "Oh, that reminds me. They have a custom here that we should observe, especially as you're new travelers to the area." And he pulls out a gold piece. The Exarch sent me with this, a piece of Vobert gold to commence the cracking of the coin purse, as the Mord call it. At the simple mention of Vobert gold, and you don't know where Vobert is, so why people are getting all up in arms about it, all the traders suddenly look towards your location, and there's a practical stampede. With all of them basically begging you to crack your coin purse with them.
Lily is clearly starting to panic, suddenly being surrounded by so many people.
Yuku is very startled.
How about Shikyle and Jackson?
Very drunk.
Would Akemi know what this is?
Yes. You had to crack your coin purse when you got here, but albeit you did not have to do it with a Vobert gold piece, and therefore you didn't get quite so much attention.
Alright, but Akemi would still see this massive crowd around Lily and just kind of get angry and maybe a little accidentally go like leaky void magic and storm through the crowd.
Jackson's gonna follow close behind to try and make sure this doesn't go bad.
Dude.
At that point, Gen kind of does that lovely little kind of kobold hop and clap. It says, I bet you're all hungry. For a long flight from the Crystarium. Go to Ronron. Ronron's shop is best for eating. Crack your coin purse and gorge on his delicious delicacies. And Akemi, you would know which of the Maud traders is. Not all the traders are Maud. Not all of them are the kobold-looking folks. Some of them are the races Eorzea that you're used to, albeit the ones with different names, which you've also learned over your time here, because you've had like the equivalent of like a 2-week head start on the others. You would know where Ron is.
Kemi just kind of nods at Gengen and slowly leads everybody out of the massive crowd. Taking a couple deep breaths as they walk so that the void energy dissipates.
Lily would probably be clinging to Akemi because being surrounded by so many, she just freaked out.
As you approach this one Maud who's sitting under like an awning, who has mats set out with various foods in front of him, who looks up at you. Oh yes, welcome to Ronron's, traveller. I have wares to empty your purse and fill your belly. Take your time. Stare and sniff before you choose, but no drooling on the merchandise, yes?
So is that looking at Fang?
He was looking at Fang a little bit when he said that last part, yes.
Don't worry, she knows better.
Oh, I know, Akemi, I know, but I just remember the first time we met Fang.
Nobody can forget their first time meeting her.
So,
anyways, these are the companions I've been telling you about.
Ah, yes. Let me see. And he points at Shikyle and takes a sniff. Yes, this is the drunk Makote, not the smart one. That is Shikyle, yes?
Yes.
which would make that one Liliana.
Not smart. Well, that's debatable sometimes.
Not your crowning feature.
And then...
At least I'm not the one annoying primals on a daily basis.
And then
No, that doesn't actually contribute.
Then that one, he points at Yuku and says, "That little one is Yuku the tower jumper?"
Yes.
There's a long, suffering sigh from Jackson.
And that Hume is Jackson the beleaguered. Yuku's minder. Yes.
Yes.
One way to describe him, yes.
And all of you who are getting these weird attributes and names of things are wondering what exactly Akemi and Crayon told the traders of this town.
Yuka's just like, I jumped off anything since we've met them.
Isn't it how you met us?
No, I met you guys through Ifrit.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
you
with-
jumped.
Shortcut.
Okay, fair. But it was a shortcut.
That's it.
Getting
Looks down
hard.
at Jackson.
To an early grave.
I'm still alive, aren't I?
By a miracle.
A short stop and a sudden drop.
So, as you're kind of bickering a little bit, Ron kind of gestures at his wares. So, he has a cactus-looking bread, which he explains that you won't wither on the sands of a gut full of cactus filling after eating the cactus bread. Or you could have spiced lizard skewers. No, spiced lizard meat, my bad. Which is kind of just slabs or sides of it. And you've put some spice in your step. You won't feel the cold this night, or probably the next one either. Or you could have these skewers of various meats. Easy to carry across the desert. Or, my favourite, glazed wrigglers in jars. And there are jars of
Where?
squishy looking insects in a dark looking syrup.
Akemi actually goes for the insects in a jar.
You would
Lily is-
absolutely know that you would just absolutely know from your time here that that's the local delicacy.
Mm-hmm.
Lily is going to shirk away from the things that squirm.
Akemi just smiles at everybody, opens the jar and eats some. They're quite good.
What do the
You
rest
do.
of you go on, Yuku?
Yuku just kind of eyes Akemi suspiciously and indicates the cactus fruit dish. Jackson, I want that. Please?
Oh great, now all I'm imagining is Yuku with freaking the Saka cactus juice.
Yes.
But Lily's going to point to the lizard meats. I think I'd prefer that.
That's also what Jackson's going to point to, is the lizard meat.
What's Shikar going for?
Grant, come on.
Probably the local delicacy, because let's face it, she's had worse.
Yeah?
And of course, the rabbit is going for the vegetarian option.
Yes, the cactus bread.
Mhm.
And there's enough left over for Fang to have something as well, if you so desire.
Of course, Fang's gonna get the lizard meat.
Lily is going to get Fang meats.
So, Ron holds out his palm. You have the gold, yes?
Hands it to him.
And done! One Vobertite honor buys you all of this! A veritable feast for you and your friends. You have big appetites, swap bellies, new legends are born in Mordsuk.
She kind of looks around, looks at Akemi. This is far more than we can handle. Should we share?
And you do notice that a crowd has kind of gathered around you all to see what you're buying. Because it's not every day you get the distinct impression, especially you, Lily, that this is not an everyday occurrence, and there's something about the rarity of this coin that is driving everyone bonkers.
Akemi is actually keeping quiet and just enjoying her distress a little.
She sighs. You know what? Fine. I think we should share with everyone here.
Our visitor invites us to feast. Let us give thanks for their generosity and their smaller appetites. And everyone starts cheering and practically emptying out on the stall because apparently that coin was very, very, very fucking valuable. And as the clamour kind of dies down a little bit, it's like, consider your coin purse cracked. I'm pleased to accept your custom, and Gengen will be pleased that you honoured ours. At this point, I'm going to say that some of you have all at least tasted your merchandise, and I would like you all to make Constitution, except for Akemi, actually. Akemi and Crayon don't need to do this because they're used to it. The rest of you need to make Constitution saving throws.
Okay.
Lily's fine.
I am trying to find it.
Shikao is also fine with a 14. Lily got a 17 just for the podcast. If you click the
name of the attribute, it brings up both the ability check and the saving throw, and you can click which one.
Yeah. That is a nat 20 from Yuku.
Figures it would be on the useless thing. Oh, Jackson!
Jackson, you feel queasy. With a 6. And Ron looks at you and says, you put the merchandise down, yes? No returns.
He just kind of gives a weak smile.
Akemi glances at Jackson and shakes their head. All that military food, and this is what breaks you?
Lily looks at Jackson. Do you need me to whip you up something for nausea? You're not looking too good.
That would be appreciated.
So she would use some of the herbs that she's collected over the adventures to build or make something that would help.
Yeah, I'm not even going to make you roll for that.
Meanwhile, Shikao's just looking at them and like, you should have tried the bugs.
So Jackson gets to see this little alchemy kit come out and just mort and pestle and all that, and then gets handed a small bottle. Drink this slowly.
So he takes it and starts to very slowly sip at it.
Probably tastes awful, but it would help with the queasiness.
Yeah. I'm kind of giving Akemi the side eye because of the comment.
Yuku, trying to be nice, offers some of her cactus bread to Jackson.
Akemi just kind of grins knowingly, knowing that they've been stashing away ingredients to cook proper, like, at-home foods for their friends when they showed up.
Well, Ron says, I am most honored to have been chosen. You should go back to Gengen. Let him know your coin purse has been most decidedly cracked. While there's still kind of a clamour because some of the people still, who are the other traders and such, and the inhabitants of Mortsuk, gather more food. But Ron is signalling that maybe now, while everyone else is busy, would be a good time to go back to the master of these markets and go have a chat with him.
After packing up her equipment, she would kind of gesture to Akemi that she's going to head that way.
Akemi pauses, pulls some, like, actual rations from before everybody got pulled away, like their stored dried jerky, and gives it to Jackson and walks out after Lily.
Jackson takes it and then follows.
Just kind of grinning because they've had it all along and they just wanted to see everybody's reactions.
I mean, that's a Cammy for you.
So, as you'll head back, Cassard is laughing. I have never seen anyone eat so much of Ron's cuisine at one time. You have stronger stomachs than I. Well, except for you, Master Jackson.
He'll be fine.
The cactus bread was really good.
I still think you should have tried the bugs.
No, thank you.
She probably Lily pats Jackson on the shoulder. He's only human after all.
It's a little bit of a sigh, but quietly says, "Thank you for the help."
According to Kimmy, I'm supposed to look out for my allies.
Well, yes.
Glad to see you're learning.
Though that does provide me with a question, if I would. What happens when they're not allies anymore?
Well, first, hope it never comes to that. And if they stop being allies, drop them like a hot rock and kick them in the sand.
Writes it down in her journal, her little book.
Yeah.
Jackson and Yuku, you distinctly feel like, as the newest members of the party, that maybe you're being threatened ever so slightly.
I mean, Jackson wouldn't be threatened because Jackson's one of Akemi's old battle buddies.
Yes, but maybe this weird Makote sage is being weirder than usual.
Weirder than usual.
That's hard to do.
Hannah gives a slight side eye again.
Yuko just looks innocently at Lily, just like, what'd I do?
Or maybe if they pay closer attention, they might realize that she's learning all of her social skills from Akemi.
Oh dear.
So.
Oh great, she's learning her social skills from the grill dad.
So, Gengen nods excitedly. Yes, I saw from over here. You honored our custom, and you will always be welcome in Mortsuk, no matter what you need. Speaking of, Kemi, I take it that you are. I take it you're going to take your friends over to the inn to go and find Alize.
That was the plan.
Well, the weather is clear, and I do believe that a mutual friend of yours is waiting by the western gate. Western gate? Yeah, the southwestern gate. She's just finished her own shopping and could probably use an escort across the sands.
Makes sense.
So, if any of you make your way across...
I mean, Yuku is going wherever Jackson is because she's still stuck up on his shoulders.
Oh, yeah. This... Observer... I'm going to show you this with the caveat. I'm going to ask you not to look at page... It's listed as page 2, but because of how computers work, it's 0, 1, 2. The one that says after meeting the warriors, you don't want to read that yet. That is a spoiler. I just put it in there, and the way the system works, I either have to share everything individually, and that's a pain in the butt. So I'm just going to do this. And you see another Hure. You might want to watch out because the whole after the meeting, obviously, if you scan the entire thing, it's at the bottom, and you don't want to read that last part. Not yet. You can just focus on the picture and the background. Those are okay. But You see a blonde-haired Hume in Norvrandt with crates of supplies, looking to depart. And as Kemi and Crayon come into view, she turns and smiles. You ready to leave then, you two? Back to the inn.
I think so. We've got a little extra help now.
Lily is kind of hiding behind the Kemi, but I don't want to quite say glaring at this woman, but is definitely trying to figure out who she is.
Kemi, thanks to what's in the journal, you would know who this is and what she does.
Okay, I don't... There it is.
Did you, yes, I said, if you close the thing I showed you, I can guide you to get it back up.
I found it.
See, I did my DM homework for once. I put important NPCs in the journal.
Okay. But yeah, no. Akemi doesn't seem like overly friendly with her. Just in the way that they usually are with most of the people that they stay like around when interacting, like not like the party, not like their family, but more how they would with any innkeeper. Take it you need us to pick up some of those crates?
And the woman... Do you introduce this woman?
Yeah. Akemi does pause and go, "These are my friends. This is Is it Tesleen or Telesine?
Tesleen, yeah.
Okay. Yep. This is Tesleen. She works at the inn."
And she explains, the inn at Journey's Head. We look after patients who've been afflicted by the Sin Eaters.
At that, Lily would step forward a little more. What do you mean by afflicted? Is it a disease?
How about we walk and talk?
I would like to know all about this condition, so yes.
Okay, well, grab a crate, or grab a bag. We'll talk as we walk. Kemi, it would probably be better if you and the fella with the big gun-looking blade there.
You want us out in front?
Take point, just in case any Sin Eaters or any of the local nasties come up and give us trouble.
Sounds good to me. I'm Jackson, by the way.
Yuku looks down at the top of Jackson's head and goes, "Are you sure you want me up here still, if you're gonna be on point?"
That is
at least then we'll have a healer.
True, pocket healer.
Excuse you?
Your hands are going to be busy.
In the way Kemi said it, you don't know if they were being serious or slightly pervy.
I don't need my hands to heal. Points to Newlith.
Yes, but are you going to be paying attention to a fight when you've got knowledge in front of you?
What are you rolling for there, Shikyle?
I was trying to see exactly how much Shikyle could pick up in one go.
What the lighter crates that you think is full of, like, it's smaller, but it's filled with some orange-looking fruits. Persimmons. What do you think what would be equivalent to persimmons? Persimmons. Back on the source.
Lily is the crates to everyone else because she's holding notebook and pen.
Akemi does pause, look up at Yuku, scoop her down and plop her on Fang. This might be a little easier for Jackson to fight.
Blink, blink.
And Fang, she makes kind of a pleased-looking noise, and she doesn't do anything to try and throw Yuku off, but definitely rears up a little in appreciation of having someone on her back.
But yes, to Celine, Jackson, Yuku, Lily, Shikyle.
Yuku waves from her new perch.
And of course, Tesleen already knows Crayon as well, and Fang for that matter. So she nods and she starts to walk, presumably with Akemi and Jackson up in front. And she starts to talk to the Mistel, aka Mikote, who has got the notebook and writing utensil. She explains. So, when I say afflicted by the Sin Eaters, has the Exarch told you of anything about how they claim their victim?
Not really.
You would recall that either he or the captain of the guard, Lena, mentioned that they have to eat fresh ether. So there's one of two ways they can deal with non-Sin Eater kinds. The first is they just devour them outright. Ether and all. Because they need like light ether. The second is a bit more insidious. But if a Sin Eater wounds you, they leave some of their ether in the wound. If you manage to survive a Sin Eater attack, but you get scratched, or bitten, clawed, or have you, they leave a residual trace of their ether in the wound. Now, if you're quick enough, you could probably cut off the affected limb if it's a limb. Prevent the spread of the ether. But think of it like a seed. And seeds grow. And their ether gradually replaces the ether in your body and takes it over. And eventually you are turned into one of them.
I see.
And it's a depending on the severity of the wound and how much ether and the status of the Sin Eater. And because there are lesser Sin Eaters that are the size of small beasts, like you see over there, or there are some that are the size of the giant saber tenders that you saw by the ruins, and then a bigger one still. Not to mention the biggest ones that they call Light Warden. That none of us have ever seen. So you, depending on all of those factors, depends on how quick you turn. My own mother took a really severe wound, and and turned, but not quite. We managed to. He trails off. Doesn't want to talk about it.
Lily sighs a little. She's written down this information. So, has anyone tried treating this affliction with more than just. Has anyone, like, really tried to look into treatments besides the most drastic?
Yes. Folks at the Crystarium have conducted all sorts of medical trials, but to no avail. Something about. And she looks up at the sky. The entire world is bathed in light. And that means that the background ether also light.
Shikao's just kind of walking by. It's like, well, then couldn't you just have those two flood the wound with their void ether?
Not so simple. I'm about to explain why. With even though Akemi and Freyon clearly have a different etheric balance, the background light radiation, if you want to call it that, means that we can only restore it, we can only kind of mitigate it for a short time before it goes back to how it was before. There's just too much ambient light ether in the world to. And if one of them were to absolutely flood the wound or something, two things could happen. One, they could drain themselves before it has any effect, and two, they could ruin. They could disrupt the balance in the patient so much that they turn to the other side of things. Not that we've ever seen that happen, but from what Alize has told me, there are a counter to Sin Eaters called Voice End.
Not to mention, Lily would chime in, not to mention applying ether to another source without proper testing. You could just straight out kill the people. Backlash, like, look at magic with mages. I mean, if we mess up with our ether, the spell will have a counter effect in what we're trying to do. It's very pinpoint. You have to really know what you're doing, otherwise you're just going to do more harm than good.
I always figured it worked kind of like magnets. You put too much of the opposite together and they're just going to reject each other.
Yes, but there's not just two poles here. You're looking at all the elemental ethers. Fire, ice, wind, light, dark. I mean, the study of etherology is looking into all those different sources. But I can always tell you one of the key points is if you don't know what you're doing and you mess with somebody's ether, it usually has very bad results.
Look who's talking.
I don't mess with living creatures' ethers. Even for my standards, that's cruel.
So, as you're discussing this, suddenly you hear the flapping of wings and a white blur kind of flies over the lot of you before turning, and you see very gaunt looking figure with black eyes that have ichor kind of crying from them, and very bony looking wings facing you. And you can immediately tell that this is easily, without a shadow of a doubt, a Sin Eater. And that is where we're going to take our break for the night. So yeah, everyone go donate at tinyr.com/factorextralife2023. Go buy some Canadian dice and some merch, and we will be back shortly. And we're back. And it has been an interesting few minutes of trying to find food and drink and dealing with snakes and cats, dogs.
I got to drink something.
It all happens in this game, I swear. The things that y'all don't hear on camera or on stream or on the podcast.
I'm
Anyway.
not sorry.
Oh, you're fine. So, a Sin Eater has appeared in front of the party, but as it starts to lunge towards all of you, you see something beige descending from the sky very, very rapidly from a nearby tower, ruined tower, holding out a rapier. As the foil makes contact with the Sin Eater and impales it before an Ellison like a teenage Ellison girl kicks off the Sin Eater and withdraws the rapier. As she does so, flips backwards and starts casting magic. And she signals. She looks at Kemi and at Jax and said, "Well, what are you two waiting for? Keep it busy. Keep it busy while I blast it with some red magic."
Here, I thought you just wanted a snack.
I'm not going to dignify that with a response because reasons. Which at least three people in this room will know what the fuck I'm talking about, and I am telling you not to tell Pure what the fuck I mean.
Okay.
Let them find out the hard way.
But yeah, no, Kemi absolutely gets geared up and.
So, like I said to you, basically, because of Alice's intervention, and I will make her journal entry available for you all. You don't need to do combat rolls. Basically, the Sin Eater is fucked. It's been stabbed through the chest between your void strength and greatsword and Jackson's gunblade. It's made very short work of. Before you see Alice Levieur, aka Alphino's sister, and don't mix them up for the love of the 12. Do not mix them up.
Reasons for that too.
Yep. I've shared the journal entry so you can see what she looks like, her early life, and what you know about her from being on the first. And she dusts herself off and shakes her head. Finally. Been tracking that little bugger for a while. But I guess it was hungry enough that it was willing to take on a group of you. Whew. And she puts the rapier, and it seems you also see she was holding a crystal focus in her other hand. So she had the rapier on one hand and a floating crystal focus in the other. She puts the focus on her hip and folds her arms, looking at Akemi and Crayon. Got you in time. How are we looking?
Well, aside from the emaciated chicken, I think we're doing just fine.
And you look at the quote unquote emaciated chicken, and it's starting to disperse into light ether, harmlessly, for mercy, into the air. But it is starting to disperse.
Lily is studying this creature from the moment that she saw it.
And Alize comes up behind you, Lily, and gently tugs you back. Hey, Lily, stop! Look, I know you love studying everything, but getting a little too close to that is still dangerous. If you breathe in some of that ether, you might get sick.
I know the risks, Alice. And not all of us can just run into battle. I like to understand what I'm fighting.
Yes, but let's not breathe in a thing that can technically poison you, right?
Wearing a mask for a reason.
And the red mage rolls her eyes and goes and looks at those of you who she doesn't know, which would be pretty much Jackson, Yuku, and Chipile, and introduces herself. I'm Alice Levier, Alphino's sister.
And boorish brute from Lily.
You hush! And she gives you the death glare.
Yuku giggles and introduces herself. Jackson gives a wave and introduces himself as well. Though he's keeping a close eye on their surroundings as well, because...
Oh, the surroundings are clear. It seems that little skirmish with the Sin Eater scared off some of the local wildlife, so you don't have to deal with that either.
Good.
Alize also looks around, and he rolls her shoulders. Right, we should keep moving towards the inn. Come on, follow me. We need to get back into Carver before another one of those bastards comes and gets us.
Close her journal. Look at Alice. Walk with her, of course, but... So have you learned anything?
Also, I don't know if you can see where Crayon is, but the steel, the walls and stuff I've set up, but ping for you. Really ping. Can't remember how. Bollocks. Anyway, Anyway, yeah, I will move all of you just where you are.
Like, I can't. The map for me is over in like the bottom left corner, and I can't move it.
You can scroll in and out, or wheel in and out, I should say, and
which makes it very hard to see because it becomes very tiny.
And then you can zoom back in. And you can hold your right mouse button down to move the map around.
There we go.
So, Crayon moves on ahead towards this outcrop, basically this hollowed out formation, 2 rocky walls and two points of entry, one north, one south. And Alize gestures at the Aetheryte, which, by the way, I completely forgot. There's one in Morsuk, but we can fix that now. There is just a straight up Aetheryte in the middle of the camp. If everyone would like to give me Arcana checks, see if any of you fall on your ass or get blasted by an Aetheryte.
I assume I can pass on this.
Yes, you can pass on this.
Akemi's sitting there with popcorn.
I always roll high when I don't really need the roll.
Yeah.
Jackson, you get a bit of a tingle. It doesn't seem to work, but when Yuku, Lily, and Kyle all kind of attune, you feel the kind of network established. You feel like all of you feel like you could teleport back to Mordsuk if you needed to, or here to the inn. And as they kind of continue to explain, so this is where me, Akemi, Rayon, Fang, Tesleen have been working out of for the last couple weeks while I've been waiting for you to get here. Yeah, it's been tough work keeping the Sin Eaters away. Unfortunately, they're attracted to the sick here, and vice versa. They also attracted to the Sin Eater comes a bit too close, almost like they want to be taken away.
Well, I mean, out of what Tesleen has explained, it would make sense. They're afflicted, which means if they're slowly being converted, they're going to start getting the same mindset as these creatures.
Yeah. So we've been doing the best we can to keep the Sin Eaters at bay while Tesleen and the other carers basically take care of the afflicted. And again, Alize, like Tesleen, does not elaborate on what she means.
Lily would look around a little at the surrounding people.
So as you look around them, you see that all of them have kind of pale skin, and some of them is definitely more chalk-like than others. There's one particular individual who is very white of skin with and his eyes, like the sclera of his eyes, the outsides have got to turn black, but his eyes have also turned white. And it's this man in particular, who I am now going to show you. Try to ignore that last part. I need to find a better way of like hitting that with spoiler tags. Something. Those of you who have played the game know exactly what I'm talking about. There's at least one person who hasn't gotten this point. Yeah. So try not to read that last section. I could maybe next time just put that in after actually make sense. Being lazy. And Tesleen looks at this particular man and strokes his cheek, eyes. They're really not getting any better. We only have two options. We either let the eaters take them, or we stop the spread in the only way we know how. That's to euthanize them.
Lily.
You kind of frowns.
So does Lily. Both the healers are opposed to that option, apparently. Lily so you put them to death.
Sounds like they're dying either way. At least one way they die as they were.
As close to it as they can be in this state.
This still clearly bothers Lily. She's actually got clenched fists a little bit. She's not okay with that option.
If you don't like it, then find the cure.
When Shikael says that, she looks at them, and kind of does the, you know what? Fine, I will. She's gonna study this person. Would it be medicine or arcana or both?
Whichever is better.
Both of them are the same for me.
Then whichever you. Medicine's going to be the more physical aspect. Arcana is going to be the etherical aspect.
I'll do medicine first.
Just for shits and giggles.
Yuku's gonna check too.
Okay.
Hey!
So Lily and Yuku with the 18 and 23 on the medicine checks. As you both check Halric over, you can tell that this Aura man is physically, outwardly, apart from the skin and the eyes and such, he looks healthy. There's nothing wrong with his limbs. Oh, again, outside the skin coloration and such, there's nothing you can tell that is physically wrong apart from what you can see outwardly. What you can notice, however, is that he is completely non-responsive to stimuli. Shikael, with your 7 in the medicine, you just see Alra with white skin.
I didn't expect to actually get anything, so.
Okay.
And of course, not really much with, Arcana.
Lily, with Arcana, you would know.
Lily?
Lily rolled 16.
Lily did. Okay.
Right before you rolled your 13. Shikael rolled a 16 as well. Is anyone else going to attempt to roll Arcana? Just before I finish. God damn it, Jackson! Really?
They understand this stuff. They're not even the right class.
For fuck's sake! How did Jackson roll a nat 20? Akemi rolled a 12. Okay, Akemi, unfortunately, you're not, even with your knowledge of the void and stuff, this is kind of a bit out, and the fact you've worked with some of these. Make that roll again at advantage. Give me another roll of it, as if it's advantage.
Okay. I just had it. Tits. I think the 12 is all I'm getting.
Yes, that 6 does not help. Shikael, Yuku, and Lily, you would sense that this man's ether has stopped. It is stagnant. It has stopped flowing. Like normally, ether flows around the body. It circles. It circulates through the body to do its functions. And of course, in those people who are kind of more magically gifted, they have the ability to channel it through various points on their body to create different effects. Or of course, they're taking an ambient ether to recharge their stores very quickly. But Halric's etheric flow in his body and all sort of the kind of key points and such is so sluggish. It's not, I say it's stopped, but you can sense there was just the slightest trickle. It is like a river that has been dammed up with silt and mud and all the crap that just, it's like sludge running through sort of all the etheric choke points. So it's not to the point where he's completely in stasis, which would precipitate a full transformation, you think? And this is where we're getting into Jackson's sudden spark of inspiration. Jackson, as you sense, you use your principles of having learned to etherically imbue your ammunition with different etheric types for different effects. Like you would use earthy for in a shot to do like a wide ranging kind of earthquake kind of shot and things like that. As you kind of get the sense of Halric, you feel like his ether is dangerously close, like it's on the precipice of becoming fully static. You could make a reasonable hypothesis that if light causes stasis and darkness causes motion. And that's all I have to tell you right now.
Lily would be jotting down various notes of her observations and whatnot, making detailed analysis.
Kemi's kind of just letting them do their thing. Meanwhile, they're moving crates and making sure that everything that they brought with them is where it needs to be. Just kind of, I don't get it. You guys have fun.
I mean, that's a valid response.
Lily kind of sighs and kind of out loud. She kind of goes, I need to find something that I can channel darkness through. That's not you. Looks at Akemi and never pronounce the name. Kryn, yeah. I need something that I can attune to. That I can draw darkness from.
Chikyle looks at the Muggles. You got anything for that?
They all shake their heads.
Last time I trusted them, I almost got everyone electrocuted.
You what?
But it's more than that, Kupo. We don't interfere with that particular polarity.
Can I make... Does Akemi actually have anything that they could hand over? Like, would any of their weapons, because they've been imbuing them, be able to be passed on? I mean, they did imbue one dagger that one time.
Yes.
They do that again?
You could.
Okay.
And I would give you 1 level of exhaustion for that. I wouldn't make you roll on it, but you would get 1 level of exhaustion. And the reasoning is pretty simple. You are channeling dark in a world that is suffused with light. It is fucking difficult to do that. It's one thing to like let it leak out and use it while you're in the middle of combat and stuff. That's kind of a more reflexive, even, I wouldn't say controlled, but at least it's measured. This is pinpoint control and real focus into a single point kind of thing, and you feel like the ambience just fight against you, so it exhausts you by 1 level to do so. And that may not resolve after a long rest. That may take some extra time to resolve, but you do have a dark imbued dagger.
So that would be Akemi's last dagger, which they just kind of nonchalantly, after like getting super tired, they don't act like they're tired, but they just pass it over.
She'd take it. And this is probably where it would get a little weird for some people. she'd take her mask off, she'd sit in the field, and she would focus on this dagger. But instead of doing what some mages do, where they, take the energy and then put it outward, she's attuning her own ether to the dark energy. In other words, she's taking the darkness in.
I need you to make me a Constitution saving throw. You are deliberately interfering with your own etheric balance. The fact that you are a sage and know about this kind of thing is the only reason I am not asking you to make me this check at disadvantage. Because of the light around you.
14.
As you do it, your ether is perfectly in sync. As in it was in balance before you started doing this. You are now throwing your ether out of balance. I need you to take 1 level of exhaustion, and I will warn you that any further attempts to interfere with your etheric balance will result in consequences. Big consequences. Specifically, you strongly get the sense that if you continue this kind of experiment, if you repeat it without resting properly and such, you will be susceptible to tempering. Even with the crystal in your arsenal, you are probably putting yourself at risk of being unduly influenced by something with a strong etheric presence.
She'd take a deep breath. She also knows not to rush things like this. Oh, she would set the dagger, what's left of the dagger, because as she's taking it in, it's probably, I'm assuming, slowly disappearing, down, and she'd kind of just go into like a meditative sleep. Right. She's putting all her concentration into this.
Okay. The rest of you see Yuli, Lily. You see Yuli swinging around in her chair, but you see Lily go into this meditative state. Those of you who are more etherically inclined, so Yuku especially, I'd also argue that 20 from earlier, Jackson, basically everyone except Shikyle, believe it or not, because Shikyle is
Drunk as fuck?
well, yes, but also there are different reasons for all of you. For example, Akemi and Crown can feel void energy. Yuko is a white mage. Jackson on a nat 20 earlier on an etheric check. So I'm going to say there's a bit of residual kind of finger wiggly from that. But Shikyle is just like, what the fuck? But the rest of you sense that Lily's etheric balance is out of alignment.
I'm also trying to work towards that little special quest of hers.
Yeah, noted. I will make a mental note of what you're doing towards that. Also,
Okay.
this would be an excellent time because I completely forgot to fucking mention that. Each of this lot have a special quest this season. If they complete the quest, and I will give them advance warning if they're getting close to like the story or combat beat where they have a chance to get the quest completed, they get something cool that's not listed in the book, especially created by yours truly. It could be a weapon, it could be armor, it could be abilities. It's probably honestly it's all abilities that are not listed in the book that come from the game and were not in the compendium. Or I modify them, or I give them an ability sooner than they should get. So Lily is working on Well, Lily knows their quest because we discussed it out of character. The others, I've given them the names of what their quests are, and they've got to figure out the rest. But Lily and I had a talk. Yuli and I had a talk about Lily's, because it's a bit different and it's going to take a bit more intense work. Plus, also because of game mechanics. So yeah, they all have names for them. In fact, I would love to read them. But anyway, we should get back to the story because it's 11 o'clock, and I would love to do the one thing later. Yeah. So all of you sense that Lily's etheric alignment, except for Chicago, is out of balance.
Yuku looks very concerned.
Akemi just kind of frowns and then keeps working. Disapproving dad frown.
I'm not laughing at that. I'm just laughing at the fact that the messages Blair sent me about the cat being restrained. And how displeased she was that she was put in a bedroom because she kept jumping on me when I'm trying to run my stream. Anyway, yeah, continue. I want to see this unfold. And let me kind of add a point of conversation to here. Any of you attempting to intervene once you feel Lily's etheric alignment shift?
Apparently, I don't feel it. So
No, you're just drinking and looking around at the patients, and you note, and while this is going on, Shikara would notice that none of the patients are responding to them. Like, just nothing. Shikara could dance a merry jig in front of them, and they wouldn't give a flying fuck. Can't hear you, Jackson.
We can't hear you for some reason.
Jackson's looking concerned and glances over at Akemi and raises a brow as if to say, you know more about this stuff than I do.
Already happening. I can't stop her. Try and stop it now and it'll probably end up bad.
Glances over at Yuku, kind of.
Yuku shrugs because, every time she's tried helping, Lily's gotten mad at her. So she's just like, I don't know what to do.
I'm just waiting for that one person to set their hand on her.
Hang on. I just thought of something.
That's a terrifying thought.
This is gonna be entertaining.
Oh dear.
Oh no.
Fang got a -1 on an Arcana check.
Oh dear.
So rolled a 3, and then poor Fang is at -4.
Because it's an intelligence check.
Yeah.
And Fang's intelligence is 3.
So
they somehow get the correct answer by going completely backwards.
Without saying anything, with what she's connecting to, it being Fang and what Fang is, would Fang maybe just get a little bit of insight on that?
Fang starts growling because there's something clearly unnatural going on. Like, Fang's hackles are raised.
All through the camp, you just hear the wolf going at it.
Yeah. She is displeased. She thinks there's something abnormal going on, and maybe Lily is turning into something she shouldn't. She starts looking at the other at the humanoids, and is like, "Why are you not doing?" She's kind of growling in that, "Why the fuck aren't you doing something? There's clearly a threat right next to me. Look," kind of way.
So,
Jackson's. Go ahead.
I was gonna ask, has Kimmy ever seen her react that way?
No.
Jackson glances over at Akemi and goes, "Maybe we should do something. That looks your Fang is not happy.
Yeah.
Want me to reach out and put a hand on her shoulder?"
Lily, well, not Lily, Yuku, without even stopping to let Jackson finish that sentence, reaches out and tugs on Lily's sleeve.
Of course.
Looks like your charge beat us to it.
Of course she did.
Should I? I don't know if I explain.
Are you actively attempting to summon something?
Yes. She's trying to connect with that darkness and bring it out, but still attached to her.
Okay.
She trying to pull a void scent out?
No.
You don't know without an Arcana check.
Alright. Let's do this again.
You can sense there's an etheric imbalance. You do not know why, and you still do not know why we're free. Oh,
Can I
God damn
burn?
it, Jackson!
God damn it!
Jackson, how are you doing better at this than Yuku?
Oh,
Apparently, they're just very, very
Ether attuned.
I was gonna say empathic to this shit, but yeah.
I was gonna ask if I could burn an inspiration, but if Jackson's got this fucking covered, I'll keep it.
For shits and giggles, let's see what the hell I'd roll.
Nat 1!
so we have a nat 20, a nat 1, we have a 15 from Yuku, and a 3 from Akemi. And I'm gonna roll.
Can
What
I
about
get
Fang?
advantage on this one?
Roll Fang
Yeah, no.
as well, and I'm gonna roll Crayon.
Fang got a 5.
Better than Akemi somehow.
Yeah, I'm burning that inspiration.
Just because you don't want to be worse than a wolf?
Maybe.
Better than Shikael.
12.
You better. At least you got better than Fang this time. Okay, I'm gonna go in order. Chikyle, you think that Liliana is attempting to summon a void scent. Just pure and simple, you think she's engaging with the dark arts. And she's trying to do something she shouldn't. Yuku and Akemi and Crayon with the 12s and 12 and the 15s. You think the way that she's holding the ether in her body, either she is preparing to transmit it somehow, or she is preparing to. She's storing it for a greater purpose. Jackson, you somehow know through your time with the Alamegan Brigade and such that there are disciples of magic called summoners who can store up to be able to bond with etheric constructs that they can use in battle, have to store up a large amount of the correctly aspected ether to conduct the right ritual. You strongly suspect that somehow Lily is doing this right now in front of you.
I'm going to pass on that knowledge to everyone else.
Now, when Shikyle hears that, Shikyle at the moment is under the suspicion that Lily is trying to summon a void scent. So I will let you all figure out whether it's a void scent or something more benign.
Either way, Yuku wants her to stop because what the fuck are you doing? Being stupid again.
Hey, in this instance, she's not being stupid. You just don't know that.
No, they can't tell because they don't know the stuff about summoners.
True.
It's less ignorance and more they don't have specialized knowledge. Jackson got lucky, and Jackson got lucky and happened to serve alongside a summoner in the brigade. Kemi just didn't remember that. Shikyle thinks that the dark arts are being invoked, and Shikyle can react however Shikyle pleases.
To be fair, she works with 2 dark arts users.
Yes, but this seems like it's worse than what Crayon and it seems worse than what Crayon and the Kemi get up to on a regular basis. Lily, what was that Arcana skill check for?
Sorry, swallow, cough drop. I think if I have inspiration, I don't remember if I do.
You do.
I might have to re-roll that because it was for her summoning.
Yes. Much better. As you commune with this dark energy, it starts to speak back to you. Starts to commune with you. Why do you call my name, child?
And they'd hear her kind of muttering under her breath because would she do this in common or would she speak in a different language?
She would be speaking Abyssal.
So the only one who's gonna understand is a Kemi.
Yes, a Kemi would understand this.
And this Abyssal speak that she doesn't even know how to speak. She would return, I call upon you because I wish to form a pact.
Hearing that, Akemi is just going to go like very stiff, like, the fuck you say?
What you say? You have no chance to survive, make your time? Ha ha ha. Oh, I had to. I was like, the fuck you say? Like, yeah, let's go all your base on this. If anyone watching or listening to this remembers all your base, you're fucking old. Yes, I dated myself too. Shikyle with a 20. What are you rolling Arcana for?
See if she recognized anything being said from her past.
Dirty 20.
The dirty 20. You pick out certain words, and you strongly suspect that Liliana is trying to make a pact. However, given your previous nat 1, you think she's trying to make a pact with a voice sense. Which is big problem. Making a pact with a voice sense you would know without shadow of a doubt is no bueno.
Would it be though? We have a Reaper in the party.
Yeah.
That's exactly what they did.
This is different.
Well, yeah, but
okay. Put it like this: we expect this from Crayon. We do not expect this from Lily.
All right.
I'm going to let this play out with all the way you're all rolling.
How she continues and she goes, I need your power to help protect those that cannot protect themselves.
Are you so weak that you would beat me of all of them? Why not one of those lesser beings? Why not Titan?
Because a lesser being wouldn't have the power that I need. And on top of that, yes, I am weak when it comes to certain things. I admit this. But I'm hoping you can help me gain the strength I need to prevail where I've failed before.
Akemi is getting angrier and angrier.
In fact, the voice that Lily is communing with is starting to leak out, and all of you are starting to hear it. And it is in Abyssal, so only Akemi and Crown can understand it fluently. The rest of you may grab little bits and pieces, like stuff about packs and with what Lily is. Lily is also talking in Abyssal right now, despite not formally knowing it.
Can I roll another Arcana check to see if Akemi recognizes the voice?
Yes.
12.
Not with 12, no.
Okay.
I will, however, in this instance, roll with Crayon. And Crayon got in at 20.
Of course, Brown did.
Make sure you tell Win that he got a nat 20 tonight on identifying as a void summon. Just
I
so
mean, he's in the other room. I could pull his ass in here.
you can show him later or something. Crayon looks over at Kemi and then over to Lily and then back over to Kemi. It's like he's trying to summon Fafnir. He's trying to show the shadow summon. It's an elder summon, one of the more powerful ones.
OC, for anyone who does not know who Fafnir is, they are one of the most ongoing summons in Final Fantasy.
Yep. Lily, what are you doing? Stop!
And what? I'll deal with that role in a second. I will let Yuli explain a little bit more about Fafnir in a second. But I will advance the conversation. And and what exactly do you have to offer me? A pact is two ways. You are beseeching my strength, but what do you have to offer me in exchange, Charlian?
What don't I have to offer? If I'm to be remembered, you are one that offers guidance, and I am a soul in need of guidance. I'm offering you pretty much the remaining of my years. If we pact, then I will devote myself to the pursuit of protecting those as once you did when you walked the plains. I will take up your cause in my name.
And if you should fail,
Then I die. And you just have another person at your feet.
another
Can a
willing,
Kenny-
another what?
Nothing.
Another willing servant at my feet. You are making a risky decision attempting to call me in the land of Primordial Light, child. But
And
you've deliberately made your task more difficult. And yet you have somewhat succeeded in uniting with me. Maybe you do have the inner strength that you purport yourself have. Very well. But make no mistake, Sage of Shalian. I will not make this easy for you.
I'd expect nothing less.
Okay. At that point, I'm going to let you explain what form Fafnir takes, and you can explain as Lily who and what Fafnir is.
Okay. Oh, as Liliana?
As Lily.
Or as...
Well, yeah, I mean, saying it as Liliana kind of satisfies both in-game and out-of-game in a way.
So, upon making this what would be considered a temporary pact, because she is yet to be judged, Fafnir takes the form of a giant purple wolf that exudes dark attributed energy. However, they do not give off the sense of threat. They're not hostile, they're almost calming. They give more off a sense of wisdom and guidance. Lily turns to them and goes, "This is Fafnir. He's a deity of sorts. And I've learned of him through my studies."
Hang on.
She would hold up her hand and they would see a crest that's not fully formed.
Kemi would be aware who Fafnir is, right?
Yes.
Fafnir is a spirit of guidance, protecting the weak and testing the strong.
And you offered your life for this.
My life as a sage has always been to do whatever is necessary to protect those who couldn't.
What about protecting yourself? You promised you would.
I'm not dead, am I?
Yet. Don't fuck this up.
You don't get anything without risk. Who taught me that? But I'm not in this alone. When he tests me and decides to test me, I'll be allowed to be tested with my comrades. I'm going to rely on your strengths as much as my own.
My big ass sword and your brain.
It depends on the test he gives us. However, in the meantime, we are temporarily pacted, which means until he chooses to test us, I have his aid. But by no means does that mean he's like a servant or anything. Keep in mind, he is his own. Fafnir will make his own decisions. I have no real control here. Not yet. What was the roll for?
So Kemi got a nat 20 on something, and
Actually, that was for Fang.
okay, Fang got a nat 20 on something.
That was an insight check
For
on
what
Liliana.
purpose? What were you inciting?
What Liliana was saying.
You
If it
think
was
she-
actually. Go ahead.
You think she is lying through her teeth, that she cannot control this being, she has summoned a void scent, and should be purged.
God damn it. We're just going down this path, aren't we?
We're going down the we're going down the fuck this, she's doing the dark arts. She's doing the really dark arts path, and
All my brain went, she's a witch, burn her.
yeah.
Which is even funnier when combined with the nat 20 from Fang, because that is a reaction roll. Fang really likes Fafnir.
I would hope.
Explain.
Big woof.
Big wolf.
Well, you say okay, but when you say like, are we talking about is Fang putting her backside in the air, or oh, is she presenting herself, or is she just want to be friends?
Let's start with wants to be friends.
Okay.
She is running up and yipping excitedly.
I'm gonna have to come up with something. Sorry, I not for this whole thing with Fang, with the summoning thing, because my brain is turning. I have an idea.
That's
Oh,
not
so
even
this
right.
so this is where we get Cerberus. It's a freaking puppy.
Fafnir is a giant purple wolf, yes. I don't know. I don't know if Fang could handle that. But Fafnir would probably be standing behind Lily.
And Fafnir speaks up in common this time. Pay no attention to that Mikote. Fool. She who does not understand things can know nothing. Shikal, you distinctly, especially with that nat 1, you distinctly get the sense that you are being insulted by a void scent by a demon.
Oh, Lord. This is gonna be interesting going forward.
Isn't it?
At this point, Kathleen comes running up to you because you've all been distracted while this has been going on. Have any of you seen Helric?
Yuku pauses, quickly looks around.
And strangely enough, Helric is missing.
Jackson looks around. We should go find him.
Kemi, you would see tracks in the sand.
Well, I don't know where he is, but I can see which way he went.
We should go.
So, do all of you go?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Lily would jump on Fafnir's back and go.
So, you all follow the tracks that Halric, and Halric has been gone for a while because Halric is not running because afflicted with Sin Eater sickness. And you eventually come upon Halric standing deadly still as a large Sin Eater with wings, a cloak, and a sword and shield flies over you all towards Halric. And Alize starts yelling, "That's one of the nasty ones! We need to go now!" And as you start to kind of catch up a little bit, the Sin Eater descends. So, as it starts to descend, it draws its sword and it prepares to make a lunge at Halric. But as it does so, there's a slashing noise from behind it. Tesleen kind of appears with a bronze short sword in her hand and has cut this thing's wing off. But it's still flying. She lands and gets in front of Halric and tries to grab him. We need to go. Come on, come with me. No sooner than those words come out of her mouth, the rest of you see this large Sin Eater impale Tesleen with a sword. And the sword starts glowing a horrible, sickly white as it starts to do the dreadful work of absorbing Tesleen's natural ether and infecting it with light, replacing it entirely. Tesleen kind of reaches out to her lover and says, "We need to spend our time being happy. I'm sorry I couldn't give that to you." The Sin Eater pulls the sword back and out. And for the rest of you, it feels like this is all happening in slow motion as Alize starts crying out, "No, no, 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 no!" As Tesleen starts to scream, writhe, convulse in the most unnatural ways, before she kind of crouches down onto all fours, stops, and then comes back up. Her eyes have gone completely sapphire blue. Her jaw drops as this horrible white liquid starts pouring down her face. And she reaches out for Halric one last time before she collapses. And you can hear bells and some kind of choir singing in the distance as this is happening. But as she hits the deck a second time, this ether sprouts from her and cocoons her in white feathers. There are sickening sounds come from inside the cocoon as you can clearly tell that she is transforming. This is the thing that the Sin Eaters do to their prey. One way or another. Either they eat them and consume them for their own ether, or they transform them like this. Whether it's slowly, in the case of Halric, or it's quickly and maliciously in the case of Tesleen. But as Tesleen emerges from the cocoon, she looks just like that first Sin Eater you saw, but with bigger wings. She still has the outline of her head, her face, her hair. As the larger Sin Eater flaps its 1.5 wings over the mountains towards Lakeland. Tesleen flaps her wings a couple of times to move towards the mountains. But before she does, she says one last thing to you.
Forgive me, Alizé. Forgive me, Akemi. All of you. I'm sorry.
As she flies off to follow the larger Sin Eater towards Lakeland. And Halric, throughout all of this, he just stood there. He just stood there. And some of you could even swear he was smirking, satisfied at what had just happened. Alizé is on her knees, crying. And all is left. The piece of wing that she'd managed to cut off, and that bronze short sword of hers. And Halric, of course.
No. You're cheering, right?
I'm waiting for your responses. I'm not saying a damn thing. I've done my part.
Akemi is crying, but it's not sad tears. It's angry as fuck tears.
Lily is very upset, and she kind of leans into Fafnir. See, this is why I need your help.
Yuku is trying to get Halric onto Fang's back so they can get him back to the inn. And she seems just otherwise just shell-shocked and just, nope, I need a task, I need to do this thing, I need to focus on something other than what just happened. Jackson's
a little shell-shocked after that. Very quiet, kind of puts a hand on Akemi's shoulder to try and ground them and offer support.
About
Akemi. Oh, go ahead.
what's Shikara doing right now? If anything. I did read the message on Forge, but that was an out of game message. What's Shikara up to? As she sees this.
Give me a second. I apparently have to relog in and everything because I DC'd.
Oof.
Yeah,
My
Nevaeh, we
internet
are
died for a second.
we are doing D&D 5e with a homebrew Final Fantasy 14 compendium, and we are currently in our second season, which is focusing on Shadowbringers content. And this is their first trip to Amarang.
Worst part of the whole freaking game.
Shikara is thinking she's not drunk enough to deal with this shit.
Kemi finally moves after Jackson touches them and goes up to the lady whose name I keep forgetting, who's sobbing on the ground.
Alize.
Alice,
Thank you. Yes, Alice. Taps her on the shoulder and is like, "We can't do anything for her yet. We will. Right now, we need to get back to the inn."
This just reminds me way too much of stuff I used to see in the Empire.
Alize gets up and shakes her head. I've only been faster if I only kept an eye on him.
Lily looks down at Alice. We all could say that. That's not going to do you any good.
We can't have eyes everywhere all at the same time.
Kimmy's right.
On the could have beens isn't going to help.
What ifs and
Only-
could have beens, agreed.
Just get some rope and tie them all down.
We should head back.
We can
will.
only focus on what we can do now.
We still just don't know enough.
And as you all eventually head back to the inn at Journey's Head, Alize takes the hands Halric over to the carers and explain what happened to Tesleen. But you see that she's keeping the bronze short sword. Before she looks to the rest of you, nods. With Tesleen gone, there's not much to do here now. Clear that everything I have done to this point has helped, but not as much as I would like to have. I think maybe now come back to the Crystarium with you all. Prepare
What
for
we
our
need to
next
do is
adventure.
find whatever the hell is causing this and kill it.
I'm sure the Exarch has some answers for us back at the
Should we not retrieve your brother first?
She has a brother.
Yes, I am. Alphino is the smart one of the two of us, and I am the more martial of the two.
And
Boorish.
that's the reason I liked you.
My brother is currently investigating some things in Calusia, including that city of final pleasures they call Yulmore.
Not to sound concerned, but you left him on his own?
Oh, he can hold his own in a fight. And if he very rarely gets into fights because he's very good with his words. But
Unlike
does
somebody.
I don't think these things listen to words.
I was never good with words. I'm good at gaining and handling information. It's a different kind of smart.
Either way,
Could have fooled me.
we should go back to the Crystarium. In fact, I will go back to the Crystarium and I will inform the Exarch of what happened. You all should go to Calusia. If I remember correctly, Alphino has a contact where the Amaro land on the beach. You say the correct code words, you'll know your friends and give the information you seek on where to find my brother. But I need to go back to the Exarch. Smack him.
Yeah, give him one for me too, and maybe leave off the part about my friend here, Pat Fafnir.
Noted.
Just in case he pulls anything, we would be well to have some surprises.
And with that, I'm going to say that you all head back to the ruins at the start. Lost in your own thoughts, what you just saw, and how insidious sin eaters really are. Just what you're up against. Before you just thought they were demons, lawful evil devils, essentially. Angels, if you want to call them that were plaguing the world and trying to destroy it. Far, far worse. They are literally trying to turn everything and anyone into one of them. And that is where we get end session. At the ruins, ready to depart for Calusia. We may not be running next week. I have grad school assignments due and such. Plus, use a break for a week just to get some writing done and things and plot some things out. I'm going to very quickly summon Sleep and see if it's raid. Done. While that's happening, while I'm doing this, feel free to hit Canadian Dice for some fresh new dice, especially some of the Halloween designs. You can hit our merch store at tinyr.com/factmerch. Oh, all the merch from the different games. One day we'll have some Crystal and Shadow merch. Sometime one of you is going to say something funny enough and it's going to get on a t-shirt. I swear.
I am surprised I haven't managed to do that yet.
I'm
We're
For
getting
the
there.
amount of random shit I say.
And we are still raising money for Spooktober for Extra Life. And that is tinyl.com/factorextralife2023. I will put the link in chat. Quick. Yeah. But while we're waiting for response from the boss, no raids. No raids tonight. So we are going to call it here. Thank you all for coming out to watch us and listen to us if you're on the podcast. We shall see you in a week or two, depending on how I feel next week with assignments and shit. Yeah, if you came in late, you can always watch the VOD when it's finished uploading. We're on here and on YouTube as well. The simulcasting is wonderful. Except when YouTube has weird title restrictions, because fuck you, Google. And yeah. I think I've sufficiently terrorized our players. Mission accomplished.
Ah!
But otherwise, it's good night from me, good night from them, and we'll see you for more shenanigans in Norvrandt soon. Good night.
Boy.
Bye.